Well, welcome to Changing Lanes for Hearts and King. How are you guys doing today? I'm
Hello,
Hakima King.
and I'm Jerry Hartz.
And
Welcome.
welcome live, guys. You know what? It is 4 p.m.
We're not
And
used to this late stuff.
yeah, it is. It's definitely late. I had my whole day off today that
I'm
we had to start
sorry.
at 4. No, don't apologize. Sometimes life happens, and we got to figure it out, and
We did it.
we did.
Yes, and thank you guys for tuning in late.
Yes.
And coming back and seeing us. We appreciate you
Right.
very
So
much.
most people should be getting off of work by now.
Hopefully.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
or hopefully not stuck in Monday traffic.
Right. And don't be looking like just wait. You can see us back in a minute. Don't be looking at us in the traffic.
yeah.
We don't want any accidents happening on our account.
Yes.
So
don't do that.
where can they find us?
You guys can find us. You should be watching us live right now on Changing Lanes with Hearts and King Facebook page.
Right.
We're also on YouTube. You also could catch us on WVBV TV live right now. So if you're out there, you tuning in, send us a message. Let us know that you're watching us.
Yes.
I'm excited, but then again, like we don't have a guest today.
It's okay. I do love having our guests. I do because they always have something good to say and great things to offer. But
today you're gonna get Jerry and Hakima.
Yeah.
Hearts and King is what you're getting today. A full dose of us, and it's okay. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we just guess we'll do it ourselves.
Yes, yeah. I think they'll see what happens here. So we'll see.
Yeah,
how was your weekend?
Test your metal today.
Yes,
that's right.
My weekend was. It started off, we had Harbor Fest weekend. We had Harbor Fest this weekend, guys, in Norfolk. Most of you guys who are from Norfolk or local know what it is. It's where all our, it's been going on for like 60 or 70 some years, but it's where like all the ships used to come in port and bring all their goods and right downtown Norfolk. And it was an event where everybody came from near and far for Harbor Fest. So what it means to me is I'm security, so I gotta work it. Yes. I have worked 13 Harbor Fests, and it doesn't get any easier. But also, you'll learn to appreciate it. Like I only had to work one day of it.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yes, because it's usually no drama. Sometimes it is, but sometimes I love no drama days.
Oh, sure. Well, and like you see all the tall ships coming in, and you see that you have the parade of boats. So you've got the little guys coming in, you got the big boats, the little everybody just comes into port. It's just fun, and it's being a water town. It's like one of my favorite things.
Right. When I first came to Norfolk and joined the department, I used to love seeing the boats come. 49 years to be exact, not 70. 49 years Harbor Fest has been. So for you fact checkers out there, will fact check me. But I've been working at 13 years, and I only did one day this weekend, which was Saturday evening, or Saturday from 12 to 12, and I got to see the fireworks.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, sometimes I find very interesting places to bunker down to watch the fireworks.
Oh, heck yeah! I think that I'd be like,
oh yeah. I used to love the watching the ships and the boats come in. Matt Schaefer, who was our very first guest, usually be out there with his boat and his guys.
He goes out on the water a lot. That's right. Yeah.
So that was interesting.
I have funny stories about Harbor Fest. So one of my nephews is 32 this year, maybe 33, but he was the first baby and he was the first nephew. So the first child as my sister had him. And my oldest sister, went to Waterside for the Harbor Fest that weekend. And, when babies are born, like weird things happen. Their heads are all crazy and you get a little black eye, whatever, they don't come out cute. So my poor nephew's got this long, skinny head.
Like a cone head?
Yeah, total cone head.
Did he grow out of it?
Yeah, of course he did. He's a very good looking fellow. But Donna, my oldest sister, was called and she's like, there's nobody here that has a head shaped like Nick. She didn't realize that you just gotta wait a minute and it'll all work out. It all works out. But every time I go to Harbor Fest, I think of poor Nick's head and Donna panicking over
looking at everybody's baby. Yeah. I mean, it's simply a family event. So
yeah. And down I went there on one of our first dates, and then when I managed t-shirt shops at the oceanfront when I was younger. So we had sunglasses that we sold, and my boss was so funny. He had all this energy and everything, and the fireworks were going off, and he's like, I'm like staring at the fireworks all excited. And he's like, look over there. So I look over there and there's like no fireworks because he was just trying to see if he could catch me in a little joke.
Oh, I mean, he got you. So we had the drone show on Friday night. Did you see that with the lights?
No.
Well, I didn't see. I saw it on the news, and I really don't watch the news, but I did catch the news Friday to see if any drama was going on at the Harbor Fest. So when I worked on Saturday, I was So it was beautiful. They said it was more drones this year than it was. Yeah.
A little hi to my wife, Eileen.
Oh yeah, and then listen from New Jersey. Welcome and thank you for tuning in. Awesome. Yes.
She's my wife, not yours.
Oh.
You're gonna have her though.
Oh, that's our producer. We're shouting out his wife. And everybody
4 o'clock. You guys have messed up my time too.
Listen, we messed up our own days. But yeah, so this weekend was good. Yesterday I learned how to play blackjack. Was it blackjack or poker?
No, it was
poker.
It was
we played.
It was Texas Hold'em.
Was it Texas? I don't know what we were playing.
I know you couldn't even figure out why you didn't win off a king when I had 2 pair.
Right. Listen, somebody had print. They didn't print out the instructions for me. They wrote them down for me to learn how to play cards. I just don't know how to play cards.
You went to the right house.
So Jerry invited me over to her mom's house and we had good food and we played Texas Hold'em. Mm-hmm. For some reason I thought I was playing poker. Maybe I was playing poker.
There's several games in poker.
So let's shout out John for sitting there teaching me how to play, and I'm bluffing, except for that one good hand I had that I
think you bluffed that and you still won.
I still won.
Yeah, you did great.
Your brother helped me on that one, actually.
He's good.
But I learned how to play a little bit, and I felt like I could go to the Rivers Casino and
not yet. But I'm glad that you feel confident, but not. No.
Well, I mean, I really did have a good time yesterday. So good food with family and friends. How was your weekend?
Nice. It was good. That was probably the highlight. I went and showed a property on Saturday, and which we'll talk about later because we're gonna get into a couple things on values and running numbers and what we actually do to help everybody with the short-term rentals and how important it is to run the numbers and that kind of thing. So and then I had a show with my parents, so that was good. And then I think I did the show at this weekend. Well, there's just a little farmers market at Shore Drive. It's the Shore Drive Farmers Market in front of Lynhaven Coffee.
Okay.
So and Chicho's Pizza's there, and as a little. So it's just on the corner of Shore Drive and Great Neck Road.
Okay.
So we have a good time.
Awesome. It sounds like a pretty good weekend.
Yeah.
After yesterday of hanging out with your family, I had a crazy dream, guys. I had to tell you about this dream, but I had the craziest dream this morning, and maybe because everything I knew today would be off kilter, because usually I wake up, I get ready for my day, and about 11 o'clock we're doing this. Mm-hmm. But it's 4, so today I end up going to test drive a car.
Exactly why you do it. Well, tell about your dream.
But let me tell you about my dream. So in my dream, I was the 3rd member of Destiny Child. Right? And I thought I was Kelly Rowland for some reason in my dream because Kelly Rowland was in there with Beyonce and Michelle, and we were doing a show, and it took me a little bit of time to get in my wardrobe. I don't know if it was a wardrobe malfunction, but it took me a while to get into it because it was skin tight. And when I got on stage, like everybody's like, "That's not Kelly Rowland," and I'm thinking, "I'm not Kelly Rowland." Aww. And Beyonce was like, "No, that's Hakima King. Of course she's not Kelly Rowland. Kelly Rowland is a backup dancer." And I'm like,
"Oh, you were the bomb."
I felt like it, but then I realized like, what we about to do because I don't know any of these moves. We're on stage. I was telling you like the lights were like a baseball stadium. They were cooking me.
Yeah.
I was feeling like I was being cooked by the lights. And Beyonce, like, you got to turn these lights off. We cannot use your cheap lights. And they had to figure out.
And so they waited the show.
They had to go find some lights. But Beyonce was like, I had the lights, but they're not using ours. And I'm thinking, okay. But I didn't really have my moment, but I felt good that somebody's
Beyonce
like,
was waiting for you.
Yeah. They did wait for me because I was like, they're going to start without me because I couldn't get my wardrobe together.
So did you dance in your dream?
No, because by the time I made it to stage,
you woke up.
No, I wasn't Kelly Rowland. That kind of messed up my whole mood.
I mean,
but yes,
I like a little side.
It was pretty quick. it was a pretty quick like moment. I think leading up to me getting on stage was like the most like, oh, they're waiting for me to get on stage. But I was upset that I wasn't Kelly Rowland though. She's beautiful, but I didn't realize like I don't know anything. I don't know any of these moves. But it was a pretty exciting, like when I woke up, like what was I thinking about before I went to sleep? You know, why am I
don't know.
The third member of Destiny Child? But it was entertaining though.
At least you woke up remembering a dream. It's hard to remember dreams.
I dream a lot, and I do remember a lot of my dreams. So, I mean,
do you take weird medications?
No, I don't take any medications. I just think that I shouldn't go to sleep, but like watch TV because I do a lot of Dateline, and then I'll fall asleep on my Dateline.
Why do you watch Dateline? Don't you have enough of that in your life?
No, like I don't know because I like real TV. I don't like.
Even Dateline's like criminal. You know,
like it's interesting, but it's like I could follow a real life show. Like if I watch any like Chicago Med or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
well, yeah.
I mean, they're handling stuff in like 60 minutes and not real life. But if I watch Dayline, it's still handled in 60 minutes.
But it is,
and it's still real life. Yeah,
it's tracking. I get that.
Something like that.
All right.
Yeah, that's my crazy obsession is Dayline. But you know, I don't wish that on anybody.
I think that's
I do.
3 crazy obsessions you have that you've said.
What is
my crazy obsession is
besides interior design, but
and the guy mowing lawns.
I like the mowing lawns thing, Jerry. Listen,
but I'm saying you act like each one of them you only have one crazy obsession. You have a lot of crazy obsessions.
Okay, but they're healthy.
Yeah,
they're healthy.
Yeah.
I can watch and listen. I need to cut my grass today, but because we're doing this at 4:00, I didn't have time.
No, and it's too hot and muggy out there.
Oh, it's perfect to cut grass and just listen to the mow.
You already put wallpaper up.
I did put wallpaper up.
Yeah, you did good.
See how crazy our life is, and especially 4:00. I did all this at 4:00.
Listen, I was up at 6 and Newport News by 9 and back by 9:40, and so we went to breakfast and home, and I was like, dang, I had a full day. And I had it, and now I'm having another full day. It's great.
Yeah, you called me early. I'm like, man, we could have made 11:00.
We could have made 11:00.
But then at that point, I was like hands deep in the wallpaper.
And your hands deep. Plus, like it's like you said, if we had changed it, everything would have come out wrong. So it's fine.
Yeah. Next week, guys, catch us at 11. We're going to go back to our 11:00 time, where life works better at 11:00. Because at 4:00 I'd be taking my 4:00 nap. Because Mondays is my only day off. I feel like.
Oh, that is your only day off.
I mean, weekday, Monday.
Right. You don't have a lot of time off. You don't take time. Neither of us really do. I don't know if any adult does. So Isaac gets in the car and I like the schedule. I'm working, and then I was like, what schedule? Because he's not exactly working that much. He's like, the 3 days a week. I have some friends that are working full-time jobs. And I was like, I like literally started, like my eyes started twitching. I was like, okay, God, please, like help me remain calm and not punch him in his face because he's driving right now. Right. But I was like, dude, I told her, this is what I said. If you would only work 3 days a week, then you're getting your real estate license because you might not be able to
what
show.
What do you think about that?
He goes, all right, okay. Because I told him, I was like, if you can't show houses in Newport News during football season, you can certainly show after and on a Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's off on a Sunday. And like, I was like, you would get paid a lot more than what he's getting paid wherever he's doing whatever he's doing. So.
Right. I think that'll be a plus for him.
Yeah, he was open for it. He needs to.
Yeah.
He's 19.
See, Ayana's not home for the summer because she's working, and she's off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then they send her home a lot. But she's like, I don't care. I made my rent in like 2 days. I'm thinking, good for you.
That's right.
Yeah, good for you for staying and taking and knocking out responsibility.
That's
and then she's like bored like most of the time. So
girls are just different.
Yeah, I wish I was bored most of the time because life happens and it's busy.
It is very busy.
Yeah,
so we are going to take a little break in a second, but when we get back, we're going to go over. We have a couple things to go over. Hakima actually did a great project this week. She did get ready for an appraiser.
Yes.
So we're going to show you some before and after photos on what she did there and explain how you could get ready for an appraisal if you'd like to, and the difference of like if you're a homeowner or you're in a sales position, like with a contract,
right?
The differences in those appraisals and attitudes and things that you need to take on when you're getting an appraisal. Okay.
Right.
So,
And the secrets, I think there's secrets in the market when it comes to appraisal. Like, how can I appraise high or low? I don't know. Like,
I'll tell you, I'll give you all my tips and tricks.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, join us. We're about to take a quick break, but join us back here at Changing Lanes with Hartz and King right after the break.
Yes.
Have you ever wanted to dress like a Hall of Fame broadcaster, but didn't know where to begin? In 2018, Aaron Phillips was inducted in the Las Vegas Entertainers Hall of Fame, and The Voice was born. Aaron has been part of many successful podcast programs, and branding those programs plays a vital role. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and order the latest embroidered products featuring the logos of many of Aaron's shows. Discounts and flat shipping rates are available on all orders, regardless of quantity, on men's, women's, and kids' apparel, and many accessories. Visit thevoice.qbstores.com and let Aaron's voice speak to you.
Hi, my name is Edgar Alejandro. I'm the co-founder of Rising Again Productions. So we've been here in Vegas producing films for the past couple of years, and we've seen our fair share of studios. We've worked in our fair share of studios, and to be honest, WWDB TV has been our favorite by far. John is so welcoming. The space is wonderful. It's perfect for what we need. We've had rehearsals here. We've had callbacks here. We've had table reads here. So if you're a Vegas creative, or really just a creative coming into Vegas, definitely check out this space. Chat with John. I think you'll find that this studio has everything that you'll need as well.
Well, welcome back to Changing Lanes with Hartz and King. I'm Hakima King.
I'm Jerry Hartz. Welcome.
Yes. So Monday, 4 p.m. This is not our normal scheduled time slot, but catch us on Mondays at 11 a.m., guys. And on Changing Lanes with Hartz and King Facebook page live, yes. Also our YouTube page. We just got Instagram. I'm so excited about this. Like Changing Lanes.
Follow us. Yeah. Please. We're getting lots of good followers. It's kind of fun to see all this happening. So
right,
making us feel hopefully that we're giving you guys something to look forward to and some tools you can use. And we're going to keep really working on our content to make sure that we have good nuggets for you.
Right, because this is a kind of like a new avenue for us.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so we're trying to see what it is that you guys want. So that's why it's always good to leave a comment, or if you're following us, leave us what is it like go on our DMs,
right, and just give us a quick bio, like what your investment is, or what you're hoping that we can discuss with you. So obviously we're into the housing market. We'll probably get our feet wet a little later with other spaces, but right now this is our profession and our expertise.
Yes, and Jerry's a realtor. Now I'm not a realtor. Jerry's a realtor. So if you're looking to buy or sell, that's your girl, and she's also a specialist in that. And we both specialize in the corporate housing market. So that is my niche. Right. When it comes to buying and selling, I'm not the person for you. I'll tell you not to sell. That's all I'll tell you to do. I'll tell you to buy.
That's right.
And call Jerry. But I buy, and then I get emotionally attached to everything, and I don't want to let go. So, and then talking about that, we're going to talk about appraisal. So, because I went into it to sell my house, right? My very first house. That was my thought process, and I just realized I could not let it go, and I had to find other avenues. How can I
use it to use
this property to still build, but not to sell it, because I got such an amazing deal on this house 11 years ago. So
you started talking around the different banks, and you can refinance your house and pull money out and roll it over into a complete new mortgage.
Yes,
you can get a HELOC.
Yes,
or what are you doing?
So I'm trying to look into the HELOC. So that's what I'm doing. I'm in the middle of my HELOC. So
yes. So, and there's one more that I can't think of the name.
Is it a refinance? There is a refinance. Sale is the other option.
Oh yeah, it's just plain old sell it. But the not the HELOC, but when you get the line of credit and it's actually hooked to the house, like what is that year?
That's a regular line of credit. That's just
but it's still hooked to the house.
The HELOC, the home equity line of credit, is the HELOC. Home equity line of credit.
So with that one, you have to keep your money seasoned for at least 60 days. So she has
the one she has. Yes,
you have to pull the money out.
I have one of those as well.
So what's the one you're trying to do?
So you have your regular line of credit.
It's not secured.
Yes,
that's exactly right. It's not secured. Yeah. So when you're going to qualify for a mortgage, they're gonna look at this money, and you're thinking you have $50,000 to work with. All right, because you have this HELOC that says 50 grand,
Mhm.
but they're like, no. I don't want to see where that comes from. You need to put that money in your account, and it needs to season for 60 days because that's how far back the mortgage person is going to go to look at your accounts to see where this money is.
And that was not a HELOC. So that was going to be a regular line of credit.
Just a line of
Just
credit.
a regular line of credit.
Okay,
yes.
so the HELOC is the HELOC is the one
home
that's
equity
hooked to your
line.
home, and it's secured. So meaning, like, so if you go bankrupt or the bank has to come and take the house back, the first person in line is going to be your original mortgage holder. The second is going to be that HELOC.
Yes.
And
because you can only borrow. Well, I've done my research. So doing my research in the last like 2
Mhm.
weeks, I think I got everybody wanting to get a HELOC at this point.
right.
Because I just started researching the banks that offer the HELOCs and just the benefits of them.
Right.
So with that, some companies you could borrow up to 80% of your
home. Right.
the equity in your home. So not like if you have a mortgage on it and say it's worth 300,000
Mhm.
and your mortgage is 100,000, you have 200,000
equity.
So
you
most
can-
companies still let you borrow 80% of that.
So 160 grand is what you could get
Mhm.
out. So when you're going to go buy an investment property, you usually have to put anywhere from really 20% is what you really need to like keep in. There's some programs out there that you can get away with a little less, but 20 grand is good because 20% is good because then you'll have your money to go buy the furniture if you're going to come into this corporate housing thing, because you need to probably paint some rooms, hire somebody to do some little handy. It gives you the cash to make sure you have on hand to do the project, right? So with the HELOC, you have to get an appraisal. So that's why we're talking about
appraisals today.
How much
is your house worth?
is your homework?
Right.
Exactly.
Because the bank want to make sure
they're secured. They're lending you the money on the right thing. So the one thing that I tell everybody, and this is, your house is going to be like this anyhow, because you're very particular and you're meticulous with everything that you do.
Right.
But make sure that house is spit shined. Make sure you've gone in and
some good advice.
Just go in with a toothbrush in the bathroom, get that grout clean, get it clean when you walk in. Make sure there's no pet odor. Make sure it doesn't stink. I mean, and a lot of people are going, well, it's just the appraisal. Who really cares? Some people do a drive-by. Who knows? Blah, blah, blah. But if you're trying to get out every bit of money, piece of money that you can, every little thing that you do counts.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think about when you're going into a house to buy a house, what you want to see and what would turn you off. Like lint and dust and dirty baseboards will probably turn me off.
The vents, that's my number one thing. Like when I'm showing houses, like that's the first place I look. The ceiling fans and the vents, the one that sucks the air in, and then the vents that push the air out.
Oh yeah.
And then when the air is coming out and that vent's dirty, you got real problems, because that means your whole duct system is gross. But just talking about, let's just stick with the appraisals, because there's like many types of appraisals that you're going to have. You're going to have the one where you're living there with your family and you're using your piggy bank, which is your house, as your money tool. So you're refinancing the house and you're trying to just get some money. So that's a homeowner that just needs some cash. So that's going to be the easiest appraisal. They're going to drive by. They may drive by, but no, I mean the easiest as in the appraiser's going to do the best he can for you, because you're hiring him, you're meeting him. He's trying to get you as much money as you can get, and as he can get you, and they're always working for the bank. Even though you're paying them that money, they are working for the bank. But we're all human. An appraisal is a matter of opinion. They're going to look at the data around you. They're going to look and see. And we have a question coming in from Ohio. What's happening? Do certain home improvements actually help the value of a home? Absolutely. Yes, but a lot of them, you're going to help with the value of the home, but you're not going to get every penny that you put in. So, I mean, especially if you've got a kitchen I was just going to say this. There's quality levels on certain appraisals. So there's like if the appraiser walks in and there's granite compared to hardwood floors and brand new appliances, that's going to be top dog, right? So that you're going to be on the top tier. If you have a house in a comparison that's got like old Formica, old almost paper thin cabinets that, if you get wet, they blow up kind of thing. Really outdated and that kind of stuff. You're going to go way down on and get dinged for that.
Right. Kitchens and bathrooms, I think.
Kitchens and baths all day long. You need to get your kitchens and baths straight. If you put ceiling fans up, there's a difference between value and saleability when you're selling your house. That makes it more sellable. All right. Because it makes more sense to have a ceiling fan and a light fixture up in the air. Pools, Aaron's putting a pool up, and that's really, during COVID, a pool was fought for because everybody wanted a pool. Now that before COVID, it could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing because some people don't want a pool.
Right. You sold me a house with a pool, and that's the first thing I thought I had to get rid of, wasn't it? I was like, just because of liability purposes. It was the hardest thing. But like if you have a big family and you have kids and not small kids, but you want that like you want your house to be your oasis, and you're spending all your money on that, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna have to sacrifice vacations.
Right.
Then I say, you know what, go ahead and get your pool.
I mean,
it's a lot of work. It was a lot of work for me, and I feel like it wasn't worth it. I probably had that pool for 2 maybe.
Well, and yours was above ground. So if you put in a below ground pool, an in ground pool, they have them now where you just go like down the road and you get the inserts. It's actually really cool, and you just kind of drop them in. The thing that's really expensive is the concrete. That's the concrete pad that's around that. So I mean, you could spend $35-40 on concrete, and you're not going to get that back on the house. You're not going to get all that back.
Does the pool not increase the value?
It'll increase it some, but it's not going to create
for people that are looking for pools. So
people are looking. It's on the saleability, and so normally in that situation, if you have a bunch of kids, you're really looking for school district.
Yes.
And so you're going to look for the school district, and then you're going to go, I want a pool. So it's actually better to buy the new house with the pool because it's less expensive for you to get that house. Because if you buy the house and the backyard is got 4 trees and a couple bushes and some landscaping you have to deal with, so you got to do that. You got to dig the hole, you got to drop it in, then you got to do the cement, and then you have to do the fence. Make sure there's always a fence with the pool because that's always a rule.
Right.
So solar panels, there's another question that's coming in.
I would say no with solar panels, but before we get off the pool, your parents got a beautiful pool. Did they buy the house with the pool, or did they put the
My parents have been living in that house for 54 years. They had 5 kids. As soon as we all moved out, they put a pool in.
Because they wanted to get you guys back.
That was their reward for putting up with all
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
I was asking your dad
Yes.
yesterday, like, how deep is it? He's like 9.5 feet. They got a diving board.
Yeah, the diving boards, you can't even get a diving board now.
Right. And I think that probably was to make sure the grandkids came back. Because
totally.
it is totally an entertainment house. I mean, that was my first
great
time.
house.
I'm always at your house, which is a block away from the beach, but the pool.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is nice. Yeah.
So, but we're getting way off track. This is what happens. This is what happens.
All right.
When you
but let's go to the solar panels. Me, I say no. What do you say?
I say
as a realtor.
As a realtor, if you're selling your house, you got to make sure those puppies are paid off because they actually put a lien on your house. It's a pain. They're such a beautiful thing, and everybody has a good heart about them, and it's a good cause. But I would lean against it and say no.
I would do my research. I saw a 60-minute episode on solar panels, and it was a community out. It was like a small town.
Well, they come out. They come in droves when they're selling the solar. They drop off
but
people.
They promise everything to these people, not realizing that these things are expensive. Like you got to pay for them up front.
And I think that they do. I mean, there's all these ways that you could sell the energy back to the Dominion Power.
But is it enough to sell back?
Right. I don't know.
So I say do your research. When it comes to solar panels, that is going to be I think
sometimes they
say tax incentive, but I don't think so. Like it might be a small tax incentive compared to what it's worth.
Right.
And then selling your house, you have to go through all that hassle.
Right.
And somebody have to.
It's a lot. If you are going to sell your house before you pay off those solar panels, really think twice about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your research. Put it in Chat GPT. Or look up it is a 60-minute episode. I cannot figure out which one it was, but look up something with solar panels, small town. Definitely a 60-minute episode. I love 60 minutes. But it kind of left this small town like devastated with promises that were broken and people with these expensive bills.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So and they were promised that their bill would be lower, that the energy company will write them these big checks, and it just wasn't the truth. So
that's what y'all have to be careful.
Yeah, I would say always do my research on something like that.
So we're going to come back in just a minute, and then I'm going to tell you so there's always value, like what the homeowner thinks, and then what
I would think.
What the bank thinks, and then what a buyer thinks. So
or the homeowner, because
the homeowner, right? Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm always going to appraise high. Sentimental value should be worth something.
Oh, for Pete's sake! Anyway, all right, come back and see us in a minute.
Hey everybody, I am Aaron Phillips. You are?
I'm Governor Val Brown Klingelhofer.
And we host what kind of show?
We host the most fabulous show on this network you've ever seen. It's all about Kiwanis and what's going on in our different cities.
And Kiwanis Connects is the title, and you can watch us every Friday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, right on Facebook or WWDB-TV. Say goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Aloha.
Are you feeling overwhelmed or stressed? Remember to take a moment for your mental health. At the Mental Health Moment, we believe in the power of self-care and community support. Our mission is to encourage and empower individuals across generations to prioritize their mental well-being. Our program called CARE takes you through community, awareness, resources, and education so we can support you every step of the way. Join us at the Mental Health Moment. Visit our website or follow us on social media because your mental health matters. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
Welcome back to Changing Lanes with Hartz and King. I'm Hakima.
I'm Jerry.
And thank you guys for joining us. I mean, we're at a different time today, so thank you guys for joining us live on our Facebook page. You also can catch us live on WVBV-TV. Also, we're now on Instagram, so join us on Changing Lanes with Hartz and King on our Instagram page and our YouTube page. Definitely make sure you subscribe and like our content. We've been working hard. I mean, I feel like I'm an old woman, and I've really been working hard on these networking sites to promote our show and get it out there.
It's pretty bad when our days are filled with, I don't know. You do it.
Right?
I don't know. You do it. So anyway, we're figuring it out.
We have our own little niches in this little social media realm.
Yes.
We're learning.
We're getting there.
Yes. So before we went to break, guys, we were talking about appraisals and getting the most out of your house and what adds value and what doesn't add value. Because we always think that everything that we do to our house add value. I'm a strong believer in that. But recently, I was thinking about selling my house.
Yes.
And I decided not to sell, but as I'm getting it ready for appraisal, I was still fixing it up if you give me a task to do some interior, interior design, I'm gonna do it.
So we've got some before and after. This is her before living room behind us.
Yes. So
and it was not bad because I went over and I was really like,
give me a little assessment.
Yeah, just to see because you're critical. I mean, and you're very hard on yourself.
I am. Right. So I restaged it. So most people know I do corporate housing, and I like
this is a corporate house. This is a corporate house.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
So what I wanted to do was I usually get dark furniture because it's more livable, and when they have kids or animals, it doesn't leave like stains or certain things you could do when your furniture is darker.
Sure.
Right. And I know that because Hartz and King have we have like a tan light color couch that we used to have to take everything off and wash it after every guest. The whole IKEA furniture came apart for us to wash it. And I swear it picked up everything. Like you could breathe around it and it'll pick up something. Right. So I just didn't want to do that every time somebody left. I don't mind cleaning it with the sofa cleaner.
Sure.
And a furniture cleaner, but
again, we're talking about cleanliness. Please, I don't care if you take anything away from this. Clean.
Yes. So I had to
clean.
Yes.
The magic word of the day.
Being I had darker furniture, I had to lighten up my house. That's how I felt. I needed to lighten it up. Even when I'm appraisal, I think lighter furniture kind of make a room look bigger.
Yes.
Is that the truth?
Yes.
So you'll see my before picture here with my darker furniture, and I pretty much used the same furniture to lighten it up. However, I just had accent pieces.
Right.
So to lighten it.
Can you go to the there we go. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot lighter.
And it's basically the same furniture, you guys. What I did was I was able to get a carpet that was not gray, but it's gray, but it's lighter gray, more tan.
It's very pretty.
Gray.
Right.
Add some accent pillows. I bought these 2 amazing chairs off of Amazon. I paid $27 for these chairs, and they're pretty heavy duty. And I saw the same ones at Walmart for $89 a piece.
I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, you can do all of this inexpensively, especially cleaning. So, you know, like, you could do it inexpensively. You don't have to spend a ton of money.
Right.
And I do want to say the windows are a big deal. Like, windows are a good thing to do to your home if you, for the tax incentive and all that. Aaron, when you were asking that. Okay, so what we were going to talk about was the bank, what the bank feels, what you feel your house should be worth, and then if you were actually not doing this for yourself, but you're in a sales situation and you're doing getting you have a contract in your hand,
right,
and you're getting a house sold. So the HELOC, she's an investor, and they don't necessarily know that that's.
So with a HELOC, you really can only get a HELOC on your primary. It's
your primary restaurant.
It's completely hard to get it on a piece of
your investment property.
Yeah.
But you're gonna live in this one for a minute anyway to do a couple other things to it. So she's living in as her primary. The man or woman or the appraiser is going to come get it. They're thinking that she just needs some money. This is the best way to get the most. Because
tell me, how I get the most.
Yeah, because it's like, well, I do this when I get excited and I have a lot to say. I start stuttering. So just work with me on this. But I don't want to spit. Okay, so the guy's coming now. Are you going to be in a t-shirt?
Cute.
You better be cute. What if it's a girl?
I'm gonna be cute for her too.
That's right.
Yeah.
You look your best. You show up. You are entertaining. They may want to talk to you. They may not want to talk to you.
So I'm selling myself.
You are selling yourself. You are selling your property. You are selling it all.
Because I want to make it look like I took care of this property.
That's right.
I take care of myself. Right.
Mm-hmm. If you have a realtor friend, what you can do is have some comps sitting there on the desk.
Really?
Absolutely.
I got a realtor friend.
You sure
comps.
Comparable.
Go ahead. What is it?
Comparable properties around you that have sold in the last 30 to 90 days, and circle the differences. Like this house, you're kind of in a I don't want to say cookie cutter, but you're in a cookie cutter neighborhood. Right. But you have a third bath where most people do not.
Right.
So that's huge. And you've had it all updated. So that would be something that you would be like, hello, I just want to make sure you notice this because it might not show up on my old.
Yeah, it doesn't show up on anything.
It doesn't show up. So you need to be able to make sure that you point that out because if they don't know, I mean, that's huge. That's a definitely huge plus in your adjustment column. Right. So that's going to help you get more for your money. You have a little bit more square footage too. Just a little bit where you bumped it out or no?
I didn't bump anything out. It just looks bigger because I don't have it cluttered. So
that's huge.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you have kids, say you have kids, right? And you've got toys all over the place, which is, I mean, everybody with kids has toys all over the place. This is not a judgment. I want you to have kids all over the place, but not when the appraiser's coming over. All right. That's what you get. You get those little bags, you stuff them under a bed. I don't care if you put them in the shower. Well, no, you want them to see the shower, but put them on the top of the closet. Just put them in places so that the house looks
under the bed,
bigger,
larger comforter. Okay, gotcha.
Right, exactly.
I have my comps because I got a realtor friend that always tell me what houses sold in the area. That's what I love about you. You were like, hey, they sold for this, and I'll look at it. I'm like, mine's so much better than this. I do that all the time.
You do.
Then if it doesn't look better than that, I'll just make it.
You just make it look better. That's right. Yeah. Well, and that's actually a really good point. Is look at what has happened, and then don't look at your stuff with the eye of my aunt Susan gave me this, and I just love this big old mirror or whatever, the big old piece of artwork that's kind of get off-putting or whatever. Yeah, just put it away for a minute. Just put it away. Yeah. And you can bring it back out.
Right. I take down all family pictures. I think I've learned I'll take down anything personal.
Well, and that
I've heard, like, I've researched some things.
I know. I have a different take on that, but well, you're in a corporate house anyway, so you don't have that much personal. But yeah. I do think if you're in a regular sales situation, homes pull personalities. So a couple personal touches aren't gonna. I don't want your take all the magnets off the refrigerator. Get the clutter off the kitchen counter. Just put it away. Put it under the counters. Stuff it with the pots of pans, whatever. Just put the stuff away and make it look as clean. Did I mention clean as possible?
Does new roofs add value?
Sure.
What about like updated AC units, hot water heaters?
So, yes. So I don't know what just happened.
Gotta just keep going.
Okay. What about new appliances?
New appliances, yes.
Add value?
Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. But again, those are going to go with the quality. If you have a brand new stainless steel set, let's just say that you got it Memorial Day special. Hopefully you're shopping specials when you do these appliance packages, because they really do make a difference to sales. But if you pay $5,000, you're not going to get the whole $5,000. You're going to get the quality, the top quality tier on these on the appraisal point. Okay, so that's the difference. So if he walks in and they have some obsolete stuff, he's going to notate and give an adjustment down for that. But it's not dollar for dollar in the kitchen, if that makes sense.
Got you. So when it comes to appraisal, so I want to kind of know this. Like say the neighbor's house, which is you see it, and I keep seeing these appraisals on Zillow. Always tell you what your house is worth, right? Would you go off of that?
I mean, Zillow's going to give you a nice starting spot. I hate it when people look at Zillow, but it does give you a starting spot to shoot for, and at least put some numbers in the back of your head. Right. But again, if you're unrealistic and you've got this house that really needs updating, it's going to be lower. And if you've got something that's super nice, it's going to be a little higher. That I will say you maxed out a house and you sold it, or your house flipper, and you got really top dollar, like $15,000 over what the neighborhood usually sells for. That's going to be the new value. All right. So yeah. So it's only going to help. You may not get the full amount, but it's really going to help you. So don't be intimidated by it, and don't think that you have to go and just because they've got the granite, you have to get the granite. Because I do tell people all the time that have these houses that are in these areas that are the best school district, and the 4-bedroom house, or the 3-bedroom with the 2.5 baths or more that families are looking for. You can't find them, so they will come in and they will put their own touch on it. They will get new windows if they feel like they need the new windows. Then they will pay for the house, right. So, and that's the difference. So, okay, so you have the appraiser coming in for you in the HELOC, right? And he's going to do the best he can to get you as much money as you can, because you're cute and you're nice and you're sociable and you've offered him water and a drink and
baking cookies.
Yeah, you're baking. Well, yeah, that's actually for the open house. The appraiser, maybe give him
feed this appraisal.
Yeah, I was going to say give him a salad and maybe lunch if you feel like it, but most of them don't really want all that. But they just give him a cookie.
Right, but thank you.
You offer him a cookie, that's fine. I cannot say enough. Be as nice as you can and dressed appropriately. The house looks good. It will make a difference. All right. Then
those are key points.
So then you're the other appraisal, you're selling your house. All right. And the buyer is actually paying the appraiser, or the bank, the buyer's bank is paying the appraiser. The buyer's paying for it, but it's for the bank. So that guy, the selling agent, is the one that normally has that package together. So she's got the listing agent or the seller has the comps together, has it all, like what their list of things that they've done to the home to make it better. The house is clean. They're presentable. Everybody's happy to be there. Everything smells good. Smell is key. Like if you've got some weird smell like coming from somewhere, figure it out. And don't overpower the house with the Glade air fresheners because he's going to have an asthma attack. And there you go with your value. So just do
I feel like I treat a house for like 3 days to get the scent out. That is me. Like after every like tenant, like if it's like a dog or if it's a food smell, because I'm big on smells too.
Yeah.
Like at least 3 days to kind of like air it out.
Well,
Get a
plus
new scent in, and then
you're so good about getting like,
I'll bring in the ozone, like because I'm just a smells person. Plus, I want it out of my furniture, out of my walls.
You want it out of everything.
If I have a smoker, and I don't let people smoke, but some people just bring the scent with them.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to just air your house out. Right. 3 days, I'll give it before I'll, do
anything important.
Yeah,
exactly. Okay, so the appraiser, when he's coming to a house like that, he's looking at the contract, and he's got the contract in his hand, and it's got the price. Just I'm going to say $400,000.
But you say he's hired by the buyer's agent.
He's hired by the bank, and the bank is for the buyer, right? So, but the buyer wants to buy, and the seller wants to sell. So
who is his best interest?
The best interest is to get it done. He is in the interest of the bank, but in all honesty, the appraiser is not trying to kill deals. Okay. He's trying to get it done. He's going to try really hard. So if you've got the best house in the neighborhood and this buyer's paying the most money for it because it has exactly what they need and want, but the other house down the street, the best sold for $450 and this one's $500, he's going to be like, So you have to have the packet together. You have to be able to say, I have the best, 50-year shingles on this roof instead of 30-year. I've got, I got custom tiles in here and not the 99-cent ones. You've got to be able to have that list written out and help him or her with their reasoning because the bank, the underwriter of the bank is going to question them over and over. So that's where, and sometimes you'll get a low appraisal and you're just like, oh my God, how is this happening? But again, it's a matter of opinion. So you have to, and you should read the room. Please read the room. If this person is there and they're trying to measure and they're fumbling with the tape measure and you're not helpful, help them, go grab the other end of the tape measure and pull it for them, help them.
You get further with sugar.
Yeah, exactly. Get more bees with honey. Right. Exactly. And again, in the same thing, if they're like, thank you very much, I need to go do my job now. And they're like, you can tell when somebody wants to talk and when they don't follow them around and keep nudging because you're just irritating them. So it's a fine line, but you need to be on your
stalkerish.
No, don't be stalking. Friendly, nice, no stalking. Right?
Okay. All right.
Anything else? Am I making sense?
You're making plenty of sense. And if we got anybody out there that does home appraisals and you would like to come and be a guest on our show and just,
I have an appraiser that I'm going to reach out to and see if he'll come on because he's a great teacher and a great guy. And he's been around Hampton Roads for 30 years. And he is who you call when you have a weird property. Because, we have a lot of waterfront properties here, and it's really hard. And most of those are like custom. When you're on the water, you got a bigger house normally, which
some things they call waterfront. It doesn't look like waterfront to me. It's just like a little puddle in the backyard. Yeah.
Little mosquito pond.
Right.
It's still waterfront.
Is that considered waterfront?
Yeah.
I don't want no parts of it. Yeah,
I know.
Nobody's a water in the back of my house.
Okay, so I want to show everybody what a good job you did.
So let's go to the bedroom.
This is your after living room.
And guys, by the way, I paid $45,000 for this house.
And this was a very special. Stop it right now.
I'm trying to appraise this house for like sentimental value. I'm saying 400, but about 290, 289. But sentimental value. My father sat on this porch in this house before he passed.
Oh,
right. Put some respect on his name. Put an extra $100,000. I got to get the right appraiser to understand.
So
my place.
You guys, she just so you know.
So this is the before bedroom.
Yes.
So like I said, I use darker furniture because the wear and tear is a lot, easier with darker furniture for me.
Right. So, but this is your darker look. So let's go to your lighter.
Let's go to my lighter look. So this is my lighter look. This is a lighter bed. This is also a king size bed, but also when I was thinking about selling it, I want to make sure that it appeals to whoever's coming in to view it. as far as like what they want to see in their property. Because this is how I get the ideas. I go to open houses because I'm always trying to buy a house, and I see something, I'm like, I take a picture of it, and it also makes me want the house. Like, man, you might have like the perfect bedding and the perfect pillows in your room, and here I am. I just want the house because I love
because you have a pillow.
Yeah, that's just me.
It's true.
Or
though.
the artwork, or
Right.
it's something
Yeah.
besides the house that'll give me your light fixtures, your bathroom. I mean, I'm that person. I don't. How many bedrooms I got? I got one. Well, the bedding in there was amazing. So I think pulling on somebody's heartstrings is like what I think I do when it comes to interior design. So
you do a great job.
Yeah,
you really do. It's always very well
self-taught, only because I've always like what I see when I look at houses that appeals to me.
But it just doesn't. It doesn't have to be. I mean, we're talking about like these are very comfortable corporate housing. They're nice, and they're nice properties. These aren't $1 million properties.
These are not.
Yeah,
not at all.
So these are just but it's what we need.
Right. So a good appraisal, and you just saw how you get the tricks of it, of how you get a good appraisal on your house and get your house worth it, worth the money.
Get the money out of it. Yeah. So what else do we need to chat with everybody about today?
Oh, you know what? I mean, it's been a long day. It is almost 5 o'clock, almost dinner time. I'm hungry. You know what happens when I get hungry? Yeah.
Get angry.
No.
Erin gave me a protein bar. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna go for a bike ride or something. I'm ready.
No, I need to go finish up what I was doing today and
you gotta
get my week on.
Oh, but I do want to brag on your doors because you fixed the doors.
Oh yeah, that's why it's good to have a realtor friend, because she would explain to you like you need to put doors. I didn't buy it with doors. She's
yeah,
like,
but
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, okay. Can we please explain the $45,000 for this house? Because
right. It's in a really great neighborhood.
But what year was
it was 2014.
2014.
We explained this before in our podcast.
But we'll say it again because when you throw out numbers, people think that there's a $45,000 house out there, and there's not. And
prayer works. Prayer works. I'm telling you, it's not but it's going to be the perfect price for you.
Oh,
I always
right.
say that. I never
yeah.
want to pay what somebody wants me to pay for something. I mean, but we did offer the full price.
It doesn't matter. It is not like attainable for most people. She's a police officer. It was a HUD home at the end of the bubble when we had many foreclosures on the market, and you had the HERO program, which is for police officers, firefighters, teachers, nurses, and medical field. But they're
giving us 50% off
a HUD home, a home taken back by the Housing and Urban Development federal government, basically, and it had to be in the zone. And she found one, and it actually worked.
Right, and it was 7 years old because she just turned 20 this year. So I think I bought it when she was 7 years old. She is now 20 years old.
Yep.
Yeah, just as young as my youngest daughter, 1 year younger. But it's a perfect program. The perfect opportunity as well, because we didn't know I was going to pay $45,000 until almost the day before closing.
That's right.
We were okay with paying $84,000, which was the foreclosure price. But ended up paying $45,000. Some people in this world got handbags that cost more than my house, but I'm telling you, it is the best blessing I've ever gotten.
Oh yeah,
definitely this house has definitely set me up for a lot of things in life. That's why I don't want to sell it, because who gets a house for $45,000?
Right, and now I know, and set us up for a whole.
Yeah, she's paid completely off, and it's kind of like in the last how long? I've had it 11 years, but it is now worth almost 7 times what I paid for it. Yeah. So
and that's a key, and then you've rented it out for a lot of that time. So,
for the last 3 years since 2020. Yeah, so 5 years. Yeah.
So we don't have a lot of success finding those HUD homes right now, but we do have success in doing the grants for people in the same situation. The police officers, firefighters, nurses, janitors that work in the hospital, anybody that's in the hospital or works in the school system,
Right.
Teachers, anybody that works at in admin for the police officers, they qualify for this grant. That's 15 grand when it's available. This one comes and goes. It comes usually in January, and then again, like every few months. You just have to check for it. And but it's a great one.
Good.
So, and
I mean, we're not out there looking for $100,000 houses or $45,000 houses now. I mean, we're still shopping for $300,000 and $400,000 homes. Just what makes sense if the numbers are right. So,
right.
I mean, this was like one of those opportunities of a lifetime that people say it doesn't happen that often. But like I said, it was a blessing. 11 years ago to purchase this house as
and
my
you're
first
great,
home.
and you've been grateful.
Yeah, especially when a lot of people besides yourself, you were like ride or die. But a lot of people say don't do it. It's Portsmouth, and ever since I've stepped foot in Portsmouth and purchased this house, I just want to purchase in Portsmouth. Like, I mean,
there are, I don't care what city in Hampton Ridge you're in, there are diamonds in all of our cities.
Yeah.
And everybody, we call it hilltop disease, like, because, I grew up in Virginia Beach, and if you live at the north end and you try to get past Hilltop, it's just really hard for people to get on the interstate. So we just call it hilltop disease. They don't come past Hilltop. So, but, the Suffolk has some pretty place. I mean, there's
so diamonds lucky. Everywhere. Yeah.
We are so lucky to live here. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So
but
anyway.
But if you're definitely looking to do corporate housing, we always suggest your numbers. If your numbers are right and the deal is right, it's going to be the right situation to set you up in life.
Yeah. So I don't know if we have time. How much time do we have, Aaron?
About 3 minutes.
About 3 minutes.
3 minutes. So I do want to tell you about the house that I looked at. So it was priced, the mortgage on it.
When was this weekend?
It was this weekend. It was 4 bedrooms and 5 baths.
Oh, I love bedrooms and bathrooms.
Yes, and it was in walking distance to Centera, so it was perfect for the traveling nurses.
5 bathrooms.
Yes,
4 bedrooms.
However, it was, I think, 630 grand, and by the time we did the math, it was about conservatively we were going to do $1,250 per room, just conservatively.
Yeah, we always underestimate what we're doing.
And the other thing, when you're getting qualified for these houses, you don't qualify off the corporate rental house. You qualify off of what the regular rent is going to be, right? So, so that was different too. But by the time we ran the numbers, it looked perfect. It had different living areas. It was beautiful. It was old, one of the old 3-story houses down there in the historic area, but it was just right on the line. And if she had held it for a few years, it was going to work, but there was no elbow grease to put in it, so you don't have that equity to rise. You have to, if she had 1 or 2 rooms empty, she was going to be having to come out of pocket every month, and then it just didn't make sense to her. For other investors, it would, because they need the tax write-off or whatever, different reasons. But this was the lines were just too tight on it. So, but that was my weekend for Saturday. I meant to tell you guys that, and I wanted to fit that in really quickly so that you knew that we actually said no to something.
I mean, sometimes you got to say no. If the numbers don't work for you, it is okay to be like, you know what, the next one will come. Mm-hmm. Never rush it, because if you rush into a situation, next thing you know, you're dealing with something and you're realizing like these bills are piling up, and then you're not bringing in the income, and you're doing a lot of work.
Right. But for somebody that was going to live in that and have the roommates, it would be perfect. It would have been a perfect situation. Yeah.
And I mean, I never tell, like, my goal is at least making over your mortgage. Yes. So whatever your mortgage is, at least doubling it with the corporate housing. That is always a goal of mine. If I can't double it,
because you have unexpected expenses, so
and we run into those all the time.
Yeah, and you have to be ready for them.
Yeah. So again, thank you guys for joining us. If you joined us live here on Change Lanes with Hartz and King, we appreciate it. We know today was a different time zone, which is 4 p.m., which you'll catch us next week at our regularly scheduled time is 11 a.m. at Change Lanes with Hartz and King on our Facebook page. Also catch us live, WVBV TV. Also our YouTube, and also guys, go like our Instagram page. I think we worked so hard on it. Mm-hmm. And if you have anything, if you want to talk to us about anything or ask a question, DM us. I like to say that now. Get in our DMs or leave us a message on Facebook. Thank you guys. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. As always, we'll see you next week.
Yes, 11 o'clock.
11
Monday.
a.m. Yes, regular schedule time.
I know.
Have a good week. See ya.
Audio was fun. And so
You're clear.